lot of people ask me why I got into doing YouTube. I mean, I do love fishing. It's probably my favorite thing to do in the entire world. But at risk of oversharing, I had a lot of personal drama happen in 2015. Messy divorce. My ex-wife took my kids and disappeared for 2 years. It took me 2 years to find her. Went through a very expensive legal battle trying to get custody. And on the off chance that my daughters do ever watch my YouTube channel, I'm not going to say anything bad about their mom on here, but I haven't seen my daughters since 2015. I have 2 girls, Leah and Isabel, and I miss them every day. And my therapist said I need to find an outlet because I had slipped into a pretty deep depression for a little while. And, you know, I was in the military for 8 years. They kind of threw you to the wayside as far as mental health and everything goes. At least that's how I felt. But yeah, some lady sent me out to pet horses. I don't even like horses. But after losing my daughters, I had to find something to channel my feelings on, and it's kind of nice to get out here and just be alone with your thoughts and calm your mind. But also, I like to think that if my girls do watch my YouTube channel, that maybe they'll get a sense of knowing me and their brothers. I had a second wife and have 3 boys from that relationship, and that one didn't work out either, and I won't say anything bad about that one either. I just drew the short straw when it came to relationships, and there's never, you know, an innocent party in a relationship. It takes 2 people to fail a marriage, with exception. I'm not saying there's nobody out there that was a good spouse that just had bum luck, but big advocate for the father's rights movement. Oh, there we go. And I've had long time that I haven't got to see my girls, so hopefully this is some kind of a legacy where they can have some insight into my life and their brothers' lives, and maybe when they're old enough they'll reach out. I have a bit of a moral dilemma that came up because their mom just sent me papers. She got remarried, which, good for her. I hope she got her stuff together a little better than she had it when we were married. We got married really young, and she struggled with some mental health issues as well. But hopefully he's a good father, because they definitely deserve to have a dad. But she sent me adoption papers, which I've been paying my child support for 10 years, and I gotta tell you, that's a hard thing to motivate yourself to do when you don't get to see your daughters at all. But I understand that legally there's no justification for that. She definitely worked the system a little bit on me, because $1,100 a month in child support for kids you don't get to see is a lot of money. But sorry, it's a little hard for me to talk about this stuff. So hopefully they have a little bit of insight into this. But she sent me adoption papers, and I wanted to know if my girls want to take their new dad's last name, or if I don't want to just sign the papers and have them think that I bailed on them, because who knows what, you know, has been put in their heads. I'd like the opportunity to talk to them and see what they want. I don't have a moral issue. I'd like to meet the guy, but I understand that's not necessarily my right as a absent father. And by absent father, I mean I was alienated from my kids for sure, but I'd like to know if that's what they want, because if I can't give them anything else, any chance at some sort of nuclear family or normalcy is definitely something I think they deserve, because it wasn't their fault that everything went wrong. And I had to tell you, the only people that ever win in a divorce are the lawyers. And apparently my ex-wife. But you guys drop a comment, let me know what you think. If you guys know me personally, I appreciate all the support I got. When I lost my daughters, my entire emergency department and part of my hospital turned up as character witnesses for me at my hearing. And I'm not an emotional person, but I'll tell you what, man, I was crying like a baby. It was such a life-changing experience to know that I had that kind of support from my friends and my family. And even my second wife was as supportive as she could be at the time. They put a lot of stress on my relationship, and long story short, the best way I can put it, with risk of oversharing because my daughters are watching this, is I had to make a choice between losing contact with all my children and my daughter's still going through weekly DCF investigations and wellness checks from the cops every day, and they didn't deserve that. And things just kept escalating and kept escalating, and it turned out that she wasn't just weaponizing my daughters against me. She threatened to start going after my stepson and saying that he did things, and openly said that in mediation. And at that point, she said if I didn't sign a no contact order, and this is after multiple times that she's had me arrested and doing stuff like that. And I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack on these comments, but I, for those of you that don't know me, have been an emergency nurse for 12 years, and several of those years I was a pediatric emergency nurse. I deal with abuse cases all the time. I've had kids dipped in hot oil, beaten to death, shaken, locked in a cage, all kinds of stuff. And I'd never do anything to hurt my kids. But some of the allegations that were made against me were pretty severe. I wasn't allowed to work for 6 months. I got arrested for some pretty serious charges. They were unfounded. All the charges got dismissed once they finally did an investigation, but that took 6 months. And because of the nature of my job, I wasn't allowed to work. And I couldn't afford to live, couldn't afford to take care of my other family. And when she threatened to go after my sons, I had 2 sons at the time, I have 3 now, and she threatened to start making allegations against them. And my second wife said she was going to take the kids and leave, so I wouldn't get to see any of my kids. And all I ever wanted to be was a good dad. So I lost half my family, and I felt like I had to choose between my kids, and that's a terrible choice. I wouldn't put that on anybody. And out of all the trauma I've had in my life, I got to tell you, man, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. And for me to ask for help and have to go to therapy, that's a big deal, because I'm pretty self-reliant. I'd like to think that I'm mentally tough, and I wouldn't have gotten through it without my friends and family and all the support of my co-workers at the time. But if my girls are watching this, I love you. I think about you every day. And I haven't talked to you because I haven't been allowed to. Not because I didn't think about you, or because I gave up on you, or didn't think about, getting you back every day. And hopefully when you're old enough to understand, or you have questions, I have a huge file of everything you'd want to know, if that's what you want to know is the truth. It'll show you everything I went through to try to keep you and get you back. and hopefully you guys had a stable childhood. If you want to reach out, hit me up on the channel. I can't reach out to you, but there's nothing that says you can't reach out to me once you're 18. You got 5 years left. I have kept track of you through Mimi. My mom gets to see the girls every once in a while. They just recently moved to Tennessee. And good luck, buddy. And I've gotten pictures from my mom of them growing up. And you guys got to meet my girlfriend Tara. And you got to see your brothers, which is awesome. I think they're great kids, and you guys were great kids, and I hope you guys have a relationship in the future, because family is everything. And Jason and Anthony both miss you, and you guys met little Leo. He's a funny kid, so if nothing else, reach out to me so you can have a relationship with them. I know where my shortcomings as a father were, so hopefully you guys are doing well in Tennessee, and I hope your new dad or stepdad or your mom's husband is a good man and takes good care of you and is there emotionally supporting you and teaches you to be strong, self-reliant, and independent women, which is all any dad could ask of their kids. And don't take any crap from guys. There's not a lot of good ones out there, especially in your generation. So be picky. Or girls, whatever you're into. I won't judge you. I had to tell you my experience with girls, though. There's not a lot of good ones out there either. So I love you. And if you're watching this, let me know what you want. If you want to take your new dad's last name and want nothing to do with me, I understand that 100%, and I wouldn't think any less of you. And if you guys have questions, you can always reach out to me. And if you want to keep your last name, and I get that too, but you will always be my girls. And if you ever need anything, all you gotta do is ask. And that about wraps up my time. I gotta get home. I have a sick kid at home, and I just dropped my youngest off at school. So thanks for listening, guys. If you watched all the way through this video, appreciate you listening. It's pretty tough for me to talk about, but my therapist says it's really good for me to talk about. Let me know what you think. If you have any advice on what I should do, I'm open to hear it. My mom's got lots of opinions. But I'd like to hear about somebody, maybe you went through something similar, or maybe you were a daughter that had a strange relationship with their father because of whatever reason. Let me know let me know what you think. What you think I should do. trout on them, but they're pretty simple fish to catch. This is my favorite, the lime cider with the electric butter. I don't know what the color they call it is, but it's just a pearl jig head. But as you can see, this one's been beat to snot and back, so let's put it to a little more abuse. And that just goes to show you, when I'm telling you to slow roll the bottom and work it across the rocks, I literally mean across the top of the rock. Just tap it and go. You lose a lot of tackle that way, but moving it real slow, especially when it's colder outside or you're working colder water. Something blew up on my left. This is I was using a 3/4 ounce jig head on the other side, maybe a 1 ounce. This is a 1/2 ounce. So not dropping as fast, and we're fishing pretty shallow water. Looks like the jack or mullet are coming in. I can't tell what those are. But something's pushing water over there. It might be a manatee. I just kept hitting mullet though, so I decided to switch over here. You can just push that rod back this way if you want. That's all I got too. Going for snook. I keep seeing the snook hitting right along the edge of the spillway. There's like little jack popping out here. But I keep snagging mullet. See, that is what you don't want. You gotta fix that quick, otherwise if you get a strike, you're gonna pop off. So wait, let it sink. Feel that slack hit, and that means you're on the bottom. And I just work it, I don't know if you can see this, real slow, bouncing it across those rocks. And if you get hung up, try not to set the hook too hard. And sometimes you can wobble it off. Like that. And then sometimes you can't, and you just gotta cut your losses. That lure's had a long life for one of my lures. I said it's probably the same spot I've been hung up 100 times out here. Hey, let's see, that's what I'm talking about. Didn't panic, got my lure back. I do end up resharpening a lot. Check it out, pair of scissors. What you don't want to do is let it sit, because once it sits and that current moves it, it'll roll it sideways and you're not getting that lure back. So we're gonna come right down this rock line. There's a big peninsula that sticks out right here, and I'm gonna try to pull it around that a little bit. That was tarpon. Let's see what we can do. The biggest snook I caught here was right off of this rock edge. like this buoy because you're up so high, you can cast forever, cover a lot of water. But I also noticed that there's not a lot of snook here. They don't stack up like they do in that water, like Niagara Falls. Nope. I think I had a mullet strike. Not catching anything. I just like the peacefulness of fishing. It allows you to be a little mindful. Like a form of meditation for me. And you just turn your head off and do it. I think I just pulled through a school like 1,000 mullet. I'm going to have some scales on my hook, I bet. I was hoping to see a jack blow up out here. Maybe we get a little lucky, but it's like God's smiling on me with this sun though. It's beautiful. You got one? Get him! On a spoon? Came off? It was a snook? Really? Oh man. You gotta get out here when this water's moving big. I put 12 up on the bank one day. What? Oh yeah, he just came off? Oh, you're set up for success. What is that, like 80 pounds? Yeah. 50?
Yeah, he gonna pop the line.
No, he ain't popping that line. You're gonna tow him out.
And I'll finish leave. I did my last throw out there.
You know, they say the last cast is 60 times luckier than the other cast you have.
I almost thought I was home.
That was a good snook then. Or maybe you got one of them big jacks on there. Isn't that the way it works, huh? I'm Mike. What's your name?
Willie.
Willie? Nice to meet you. Yeah, I come out here a lot too. Have you fished the other spillway? There's a little one right over here. I shoot a YouTube channel. That's what my camera's for. I caught a big one over there the other day too. I was really hoping you got that one too. That looked like a good fish. So when you see all these leaves and stuff floating on top of the water, a lot of times the manatees will come up in here and you'll hook into one of those by accident too. Nah, you just pull hard enough, it'll come out. Yeah, or you'll pop your line, but most of the time they don't even know they're hooked. Especially when you can't see because of the glare. A lot of times early in the morning like this, they like to come up and sun themselves right in the shallows, and they'll sit there and wait for these. There's some thousands of mullet here. I have a lot of luck on these 3-inch NLBN paddle tails. So when I'm not finesse fishing with like the Berkeley power mullets or power minnows, I like to throw these NLBNs. Had a lot of luck on DOA terrorize, DOA shrimp. A lot of smaller baits out here. And when you're using smaller baits, you're not just limiting yourself to the snook. Like you saw the other day, I got that moonfish. And there's all kinds of stuff out here. That's going to be manatee food in a little bit. They're going to come up here and clear all this out. That's why they swim up here, because of the warm water and free food.